Hello student, myself Nimesh Prabhakar. Welcome to Antenna and Propagation lecture series. In my previous lecture, I start new chapter. In that chapter, we discuss about the antenna parameter like beam width, directivity, gain, radiation intensity, and power density. Now, in this lecture, we discuss about the radiation resistance. Then we discuss about the antenna beam efficiency. Then next we discuss about the effective length of antenna. Then we discuss about the effective aperture. And last we discuss about the effective aperture for Hertzian dipole. So in this lecture we will discuss about this topic. So now first we start with the radiation resistance. The antenna radiates power into free space in the form of electromagnetic wave. We all know that the antenna is radiate the energy in the form of the electromagnetic wave. So the power dissipated is given by P radiate is equal to I square R. And assuming all the power is dissipated in the form of electromagnetic wave, then we can write the equation as R is equals to P radiate upon I square. Actually, the power is dissipated in the many form, but here we consider the power is dissipated only in the form of the electromagnetic wave. So we can write this equation R is equals to P radiate upon I square. This resistance is called fictitious resistance or radiation resistance of antenna, and it is denoted by R radiate or RA or R0. So this is the radiation resistance. But practically the energy supplied to the antenna is not completely radiate in the form of electromagnetic wave. So when we apply the energy, we know that we apply the energy in the form of the electrical signal. So we assume that all the energy is radiate. That means we apply the 30 dB power, that all the 30 dB power is radiate, but actually it is not possible. So some energy is lost. There are the certain radiation loss due to the loss resistance denoted by the R loss. Thus, the total power loss is given by P is equals to P radiate plus P loss. So we can write the total power loss, that means the power is lost, is denoted by the P is equals to the radiation power loss plus the power loss. So the P is, we can write as the P is equals to radiation loss plus ohmic loss. So the P, we can write the power radiation loss, we can write as the I square R radiate, and the ohmic loss we can also write as I square R loss. So the equation we have, the P is equals to I square R radiate plus I square R loss. And we can write this equation as, so here we simply the I square, we take the common, so we can write that the P is equals to I square R radiate plus R loss. So this is the equation for the radiation power loss. Now we discuss about the antenna beam efficiency. In the last lecture we have discussed what is the antenna beam. Then we discuss about the beam width of antenna, half power beam width, and first null beam width, FNBW and HPBW. So here we discuss about the antenna beam efficiency. To examine the quality of antenna, the antenna beam efficiency parameter is important. For antenna with a major loop coincident with the Z-axis, the beam efficiency is defined as beam efficiency, this equation is defined as BE is equals to power transmit or receive within the cone angle theta 1 upon power transmitted or received by the antenna. So here this theta 1 is the half angle of the cone within which the percentage of total power is found. And mathematically, the beam efficiency is given by this equation as BE is equals to the integration phi is equals to 0 to 2 pi, theta is equals to 0 to theta 1, u theta phi sin theta d theta d phi. Here we know that the u is indicate the intensity, and upon this is the power transmitted by the antenna, is we can find that the integration phi is equals to 0 to 2 pi, integration theta is equals to 0 to pi u theta phi sin theta d phi. This is the total power transmitted by the antenna. So the beam efficiency can be expressed in the terms of mean beam area and the total beam area. So we can write as the beam efficiency BE is equals to eta m is equals to ohm m upon ohm A. Now, but the total power, or sorry, the total beam area is combination of the main beam area and minor beam area. We know that the total power is the combination, total beam is the combination of the main beam area and the minor beam area. So we can write that as a ohm A. Ohm A is denoted the total beam area, and ohm m is indicate the main beam area, plus ohm m, this small m, is indicate the minor loop area. So dividing above equation by the ohm A on the both the side. Now we divide this equation both the side by the ohm A. So we get this equation as 1 is equals to ohm m upon ohm A plus ohm small m upon ohm A, where here the ohm m upon ohm A, we know that this is the ohm m is the main beam area upon total beam area. So we can write this as a eta m is the beam efficiency, and the second term is indicate the ohm small m upon ohm A is the minor beam area upon total beam area. This is known as the stray factor. So this is the antenna beam efficiency. So we can write this equation as eta m plus eta small m is equals to 1. Now next one is the effective length, or we can say the effective height. So this is the next one parameter is the effective length. The effective length of antenna carrying peak current Im is defined as the length of imaginary linear antenna with a uniformly distributed current such that both the antenna have the same far field in the theta is equals to pi by 2 plane. So it is defined as, or it is denoted as L effective. For the practical antenna, the effective, we know that the E theta is equals to J eta 0 beta 4 pi r e raised to minus j beta r integration minus L by 2 to L by 2 Iz dz. So this is the electric field in the theta direction. Now the effective length for imaginary antenna, we can write as, for the imaginary antenna, for the E theta is equals to J eta 0 beta upon 4 pi r e raised to minus j beta r Im integration minus L effective by 2 to L effective by 2 dz. So we get that as a E theta J eta 0 beta upon 4 pi r e raised to minus j beta r Im, and when we solve this effect, integration, so we get the L effective. But Practical and imaginary antenna should produce same electric field at far point. So we can write as L effective is equals to 1 upon Im integration minus L by 2 to L by 2 Iz dz. The effective length of receiving antenna is defined as L effective is equals to VOC upon ER. So we can also write the effective length in the form of the VOC upon EI. Now here the VOC is indicate the open circuit voltage and the EI is indicate the incident electric field. So this is the effective length. Now effective aperture or effective area. So the effective aperture is the ability of antenna to extract energy from electromagnetic wave. So this is the, here we discuss about the aperture of antenna. So that's why here the effective aperture is the ability of antenna to extract the energy from the electromagnetic wave. It is also called the effective area. Effective aperture is defined as the ratio of power received in the load to the average power density produced at the point. So we can write as AE is equals to power received upon average power. P receive upon P average. Effective aperture is measured in the meter square. Now here, next one topic we discuss about the effective aperture for Hertzian dipole. So here, this is the open circuit, this is the figure we have considered as a, so here VOC is indicate the open voltage and Z is the impedance. We can write as the, in the form of the R radiate plus Jx, and ZL is the load impedance. So we can write as a ZL is equal to R radiate minus Jx. So from this figure we can write that the VOC is equal to E dot dl, and well here the E is indicate the magnitude of the electric field intensity produced at the receiving point, and dl is indicate the length of Hertzian dipole. So the current for flowing the load is given by, current following the load is given by, from this figure, by using the Kirchhoff law, we can write as I is equals to VOC upon Z plus ZL. So substituting the value of the Z and ZL, the current can be written as, so here just we write the value of the Z and ZL, so we get this equation as I is equals to VOC upon R radiate plus Jx plus R radius minus Jx. So when we solve this equation, so we get I is equals to VOC upon 2R radiate. The power delivered to the load is given by PR is equals to I square RMS into R radiate. So this is the power equation. PR is equals to I square into R. So here we have write the PR is equals to I square RMS plus R radiate. And we can also write the I square equation in the form of the VOC upon R radiate upon under root 2. So here when we solve this equation, or we can write this equation as PR is equals to V square OC, this is open circuit, upon 8 R radiate. Substituting the value of VOC from equation number 1, so we get this as PR is equals to E square dl square 8 R radiate. The maximum effective aperture is given by AEM is equals to maximum power received upon average power density. So we can write as AEM is equals to PR maximum upon P average. So here we can write the equation as by substituting the value of the P average. So AEM is equals to E square dl square 8 R radiate upon E square upon 2 eta 0. So we write as AEM is equals to dl square eta 0 upon 4 radiate. Substituting the value of R radiate and eta 0, so we get AEM is equals to 3 lambda square upon 8 pi. So this is the effective aperture for the Hertzian dipole. Or we can when we solve this equation like a 3 upon 8, so we get the AEM is equals to 1.5 lambda square upon 4 pi. So here we know that lambda is the wavelength. So effective aperture is related with the wavelength of the antenna. So the wavelength, we know that the wavelength is related with the frequency. But the directivity of Hertzian dipole is 1.5. We know that the directivity for the Hertzian dipole is the 1.5. So we can write as the AEM is equals to GD maximum upon lambda square 4 pi. GD maximum we can write as a GD maximum, or we can simply write as a D, because it indicates the directivity. GD is indicate the directive gain. So AEM is equals to GD maximum upon lambda into lambda square upon 4 pi. So in this lecture, first we discuss about the radiation resistance, then we discuss about the antenna beam efficiency, then next we discuss about the effective length, then effective aperture, and last we discuss about the effective aperture for Hertzian dipole. Thank you. Hello and welcome to our channel Electronics and Communication Engineering. Congratulations to find us for learning. You are watching a lecture series on antenna and propagation that has approx 44 sessions and more are coming up. We have more than 1200 sessions in various lecture series on courses for electronics and communication engineering. Watch it and learn. If you like it, share it, subscribe it, and press bell icon to receive all updates on new session. Enjoy learning.